Hi there, Richard at Coughlin 666. How are you? And I wanted to talk to you today about Lacey Green, aka gogreen18, and her tits. This could be quite a long video. Sadly, it won't be. I can only get 10 minutes in, which is longer than usual. No, she made a video recently about her cleavage. And I wanted to refer more so to the people who were sending, who were sending. It was basically she was talking about these several messages she gets. First one is people sort of going, show more, get them out, and the other people who are saying, criticising her for having tits, basically, and saying that it detracts from the message. Right now. And she was a bit too easy on the people who go, show more, or get them out, go on, give them a good old flap in. No. And she sort of said she could understand that. Well, I sort of can't, really. And I think you need a bit more firm here. It's not, you're probably very firm. Or this video is going to be packed with double, packed like Go Green's bra. This is, with double entendres. I'm going to try get out of it. Now, the thing is, the guys who are watching our videos are going to show more or pop them out. If you're watching her, I mean, you must have the internet. If you're watching her videos, who are these people who go on YouTube looking for I mean, pornography is not something. If you're going to watch her videos or anyone's videos, looking for on YouTube, looking for porno, you really need to, you're on the internet, for God's sake. I remember reading this interesting survey that was done, it's about 2 years ago. I have no idea how this was done. I'm not a computer person. But basically it was a study of internet traffic. They basically studied internet traffic at various times to work out what was sort of, the most sort of, what sites were getting the most traffic. And they found out that pornographic websites were responsible, on average, for 83% of internet traffic. 83, that means on average 83, that means right now, for every 6 people on a computer, 5 of them are wanking. Quite ironic, really. But, so, and secondly, even if you want, I mean, these people obviously say show more. Obviously they want to see Lacey's tits. I would be lying if I said I didn't. But this is the point I don't understand, is why ask her? She's not going to do it. She's not just going to go and just whack them straight out. What do you think she's going to do? Get a life, you assholes, for fuck's sake. YouPorn.com or something like that. There's loads of them out there. This is the internet, for God's sake. You can't find porn on the internet. You don't really, you should learn to spell. You can type anything in there, and you'll find porn. But the people she was more focusing on was the people who said that her boobs detracted from the messages in her videos. Now, when I first heard this, I thought she has messages in her videos, and then I watched them and I thought, yes, she actually is saying something. Now, the people who say this, right, now, there's 2 reasons people would say this. One, if it's a woman saying it, it's because she's some stuck-up, bitter old hag with basically, who's just jealous because she's got no tits at all, right? And or it's a bloke because he's one of these or it's one of these blokes who basically is distracted by the cleavage because he's a bit frustrated, but he wants to appear to be more moral and more sort of morally superior, so he's going to criticise it. And it reminds me, last year, there's a funny story in this country where basically the porn channels on Sky Digital, they encrypt at midnight. You get your encryption at midnight. Well, there was an incident last year where one of the channels, and I don't know which one. I unfortunately was not aware of this when it happened, but there was an incident where one of the porn channels, it forgot that, I don't know why this happened, but one of them didn't encrypt. one of them sort of kept going, and it was just free porn. It's like that episode of Friends where it was just free porn, right? And this was the funny thing. The Sky Digital, or the Sky Channel, received 98 complaints about this, right? Now, this started at midnight, right? This is the funny thing. They received 98 complaints, right? They didn't get their first complaint until 17 minutes to 1 AM. Right? 43 minutes past midnight. I mean, what the fuck? Who... Are you telling me you just stumbled past the porn channel and it happened to be on? And your first thing was, right... I mean, it's not like they hide them. You know where they are. They're all at the end. They're in a big group. You know where they... You don't just sort of flick through. It's not like, oh, MTV, Nickelodeon, porn. You know, they're there. You don't know. I just had this image. There was this guy on a phone. There's this guy watching it going, I can't believe this. And he just started... Right? And then his missus walks in, or his wife, and he's just going, oh my God, darling, you won't believe this. I'm ringing them. I'm absolutely disgraceful. I'm so outraged I started masturbating immediately. You know, those sorts of people are the ones who complain, right? And if you are distracted by her tits, and that's okay, do what I do. Knock one out when you watch it first time, and when you've mopped yourself up, then watch your video whilst your brain's clearing up. It's a lot easier, and she'll appreciate it. She'll get 2 views per person. You know, just stop, but don't criticise her, and don't try and encourage her. These are both futile. What do you want her to do? Chop her tits off? Grow up, all of you. Richard the Dick Coughlin 666. Good night. May God be less.